Hi, my name is Mark Takna and welcome to my channel, The Media Nerd. Hooray! Today's video, I'm going to show you how I transfer 8mm videotapes to digital. The equipment that I'm using is a Sony 8mm Walkman, which can play high 8 or digital 8. Wow. I'm also going to use an HDV deck. The Mac I use is an iMac. It's an older model because, let's face it, transferring old stuff takes old stuff.
Don't see that every day.
And I'm also going to use Final Cut 7 to capture the video. Let's get started. This is how I have my equipment set up. I'm going to use the 8mm Walkman to play the tape. It's going to come out via RCA and go in to the HDV deck, and then it's going to go out Firewire.
Ooh!
I realize that I can go straight out Firewire out of the deck, but because I'm not sure if the tapes I'm going to be playing are high 8 or digital 8, it is much easier for me to be able to break the timecode by running it analog this way. As far as the interface is concerned, the main concern I have is making sure that the audio coming out of this deck is set correctly. I'm going to go to Menu, and I will go over to Audio Mode, and I want this at FS48K. You can have it at 32, but you don't want that. You really need it at 48K so it jives with the settings on Final Cut 7. If you don't have it on 48K, the audio and the video will be out of sync. The first setting that I need to make sure is working properly is the video out is turned on this deck. So I'm going to go to Menu, and here's AV to DV out. It's on. If you don't have it on, you're not going to get a picture on the computer. So that is perfect. I'm going to put my tape in.
Oh yeah.
So up here it has a digital 8 symbol. I see that as digital 8 because it's running the frames as well. That is great, but I'm still going to run it through the analog instead of Firewire out, because this is what happens. If that timecode breaks, because a lot of people like to record, watch, then fast forward to a fresh part of the tape and hit record again, and this timecode will go back to 0. And if I try to capture it using the Firewire, then it'll stop the process. I need to make sure that I am transferring this analog so it doesn't read the timecode. I'm in Final Cut 7, and the first thing I'm going to do is hit Command 8, the shortcut key, which brings me up my log, and capture. I'm going to name my tape 8mm transfer. Going to go to clip settings and make sure that my video is highlighted and my audio is highlighted, and also want to make sure that I'm getting good audio, so I'm going to hit my preview button. There it is. I now want to go to my capture settings and make sure that I'm on non-controllable device. That is to make sure that I don't have any timecode going through the machine, so I have a nice, flawless capture.
Oh.
I want to go into capture input and make sure that the DV NTSC 48KHZ is highlighted, and most importantly, the 48 will match with the deck to make sure that I have my audio and video synced correctly. Now that that is done, just say that this is where I would like to have my tape captured, and I'm going to hit capture now.
And away we go!
The tape is now being captured in Final Cut 7. Depending on how long your clip is, you're going to have to wait, maybe set a timer. But for the purpose of this demonstration, this is good enough, and I will hit escape.
Yeah!
I can hit stop on my 8mm deck. And here's my video up here in the log bin. 8mm transfer. I'll hit play. I have sound, and that is how you transfer 8mm tape using Final Cut 7. Now, since I use Final Cut 7, the native video file is going to be a QuickTime file, which is a .mov. A lot of people out there use PCs and not Macs. So MOV doesn't jive very well with PCs, especially with Windows Media Player. However, it does work great with VLC Media Player, which is a free download, by the way. But the files are really large. So if this tape is 1 hour, it's actually going to be about 10 gigabytes as an MOV file. What I need to do after this is transfer my MOV files into an MP4 file, which will reduce the size down to maybe like 1 gigabyte or 2 gigabytes, and it will be able to play perfectly on a PC and on a Mac. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I hope you learned something from it. Make sure to subscribe, like, and ring that bell for future notifications. Have a wonderful day.